Our next speaker is Dr. Robert Morton, who is the manager of the Newport Biodiesel Company and a representative of the National Biodiesel Board. The title of his talk is Biodiesel in the Marine Environment, a Chicken or the Egg Situation. After spending the majority of his career as an oceanographer, Dr. Morton became affiliated with Newport Biodiesel as a founding partner. The company has developed a network of over 3,000 restaurant partners who provide waste vegetable oil as feedstock to a production facility that is currently producing more than 3 million gallons of biodiesel each year. Dr. Morton is now chairman of the board of Newport Biodiesel and is the company's representative to the National Biodiesel Board, addressing national issues that affect the company. He was elected to the NBB governing board, and he's currently vice chairman of the marketing committee. Locally, he's president of the Rhode Island Ocean State Clean Cities Coalition and is a member of the Rhode Island Small Business Renewable Energy Task Force, the Rhode Island Advanced Biofuels Commission, the Rhode Island Energy Plan Implementation Group, the Rhode Island Oil Heat Institute, the Rhode Island Renewable Energy Initiative, and the Rhode Island Citizens Climate Lobby. In addition, he is a member of the Advisory Council here at the Graduate School of Oceanography. Bob.
Sounds like I'm a pretty busy guy. So I wanted to talk here about biodiesel in the marine environment. Having been an oceanographer, this has really been important to me, is to try and see how I can get biodiesel to be used more. And as you'll see, it really is kind of a chicken or the egg situation that we have here. And the question is, why should we do it? And to me, climate change is the most important thing that we need to deal with today. I mean, that's why we're here, is to address those sorts of situations. And I just really feel like we want to live that way and really be addressing climate change all the time. I noticed we mentioned the Tesla model. I just ordered a Model 3, so we'll go forward with that and keep going. So, but why should we use biodiesel? And this is a statement that comes from the sustainability chairman for the National Biodiesel Board. And we'd just like to say that biodiesel is the best fuel on the planet. I mean, we really believe that. And why would that be? The most important thing is that biodiesel reduces greenhouse gas emissions by up to 89%. That's a huge difference, you know. And so that is really a function of the feedstock that you use, and it's the life cycle reduction of carbon. And for every unit that we put into making biodiesel, we yield 7 units of usable energy. And it really is a fuel that's ready to go right now. And I think that's an important thing. We talk about all the other things we can do, but biodiesel is right there ready to go. It blends directly with petroleum diesel. And that's the way we sell most of it. It's always sold as a blend to the consumer. The important thing is, if you look, if you had 20% biodiesel with ultra-low sulfur petroleum, you have fewer emissions than natural gas. So that's just something that I think people don't really realize about how clean biodiesel can be. And that's what our goal is in Rhode Island, is to get to a 20% blend, that everybody's using that, and it will work really well. And as I said, it's ready to use today. You don't have to modify your engines. You can just go and start using it. So this is just a chart that shows the carbon intensity of different types of fuel. And you look at the very bottom, and you'll see that's where biodiesel is. I think ethanol is like the 3rd or 4th one down. So it really is a big difference in the greenhouse gas reductions that you can get from using biodiesel. And the way we make biodiesel, we just take vegetable oil, and as Bruce said, we have over 3,000 restaurants that we collect from. You add methanol to it, and that yields biodiesel and glycerin. And glycerin we sell as a waste product and can be used for a lot of different things. The important thing is that biodiesel is always made to this ASTM D6751 specs. That's what makes sure that it has the same density, same viscosity as regular diesel, and you know that you've got a good fuel that you can use in your engines. And why do I say the chicken or the egg? And it's not just for marine, It's for all other kinds of things, but particularly in marine applications. People want to use biodiesel, but they don't know where they can get it, and it's really a hard thing to do. And a marina might actually want to sell biodiesel, but are there enough people that want to buy it? You know, so they would have to dedicate a tank in order to have biodiesel there. So there's always a reluctance to make that big step. And the other question is what blend levels should be sold. Like I said, we'd like to get people to go to B20, but some engines are not warranted up to B20 yet. So that's something that we're all working on as part of the ASTM spec. If we know it's ASTM spec, it should be able to go to B20 without any problems. So what are the concerns that people have with biodiesel? It was mentioned before about ethanol. Ethanol was a major problem for marine environment. It caused a lot of fiberglass tanks to dissolve, and it's not good for small engines like outboards. But there's none of those issues occur with biodiesel. You don't have that kind of thing happening at all. So that's an important thing. We need to make the distinction from ethanol to biodiesel. There's also a concern for water in the fuel, because biodiesel can absorb water. But if you just treat it carefully, like you have to do with normal fuel, you'll never have any problems. And so that's the thing that we try and emphasize to people. Just be careful. Don't leave your tank fills open and things like that to make sure there's nothing in there. And the other issue that we just talked about is these OEM warranties. Some engines don't go for the higher blends, but we're all working towards that, and it's continually changing right now. So what are some early projects that have happened to show that this can work? Great Lakes at Chesapeake had a big program that was sponsored by the National Biodiesel Board, and they were selling B100 in 5-gallon containers. People would just put it in their boats and mix it to whatever blend they wanted. That's sort of stopped now. A lot of these have all just kind of fallen by the wayside. Channel Islands National Park, they're using B100 in all of their boats. And the Port of Seattle and the Seattle ferry systems, they're all using B20. They're still doing that. That's going on completely and working quite well. Rhode Island had a grant that they gave money to Old Port. They gave biodiesel to Old Port Marine and Save the Bay. And those guys used it for like 3 or 4 years. They still have stickers on their boats, but they don't use biodiesel. So that's a sore subject with us here. And there's the Atlantic Cup. Is a race that comes to Newport every year, starts down in Charleston and comes up here. Race boats, they all use biodiesel on the boats. That's part of their green part of their race. And we have some research vessel projects. It was good to hear. I didn't know about the Scripps study that was going on right now. But at Duke University, where Dr. Corliss was, they did a project where they collected waste vegetable oil and used that aboard the Hatteras, which was their research vessel. And that worked quite well for a couple of years, but a lot of logistics issues come in. Where do you get all this stuff and how do you get it on board and handle it? So it's kind of slowed down. And URI, we actually had a contract for B5 biodiesel aboard the Endeavor for a couple of years. I don't think it's happening now. Again, we've got to keep working on that to make it happen. But we did it for a while. One big thing that we have going is the Oliver Hazard Perry. I think people have heard of that ship. It's a training ship in Newport. It's all using B20 all the time. Their Caterpillar engines that they had on the boat are warranted to go to B100, so we could have done that, but their generators are only to B20. It's sort of a frustrating thing, so we're now using, it's only got one tank system, so we're now using B20 for all the engines on board. That's been going on for a couple of years now. We're waiting for that boat to get out and really get working, and we'll see how she does, but they've been a big supporter of making their whole system green. We had a great project last summer when the Volvo Ocean Race came here to Newport. I think a lot of people must have seen it, but we used biodiesel on all the onshore support systems and everything, all the generators, all the trucks that were there, and the race boats actually took a blend of biodiesel for their race across the ocean. That was a big thing for us. If they'll believe in it and take it at a race across the ocean, then people should pay attention to that. And we saved over 38,000 pounds of carbon dioxide emissions by using biodiesel in that program. So that was really a pretty neat thing. I'm doing one this year where we're going in the Newport Bermuda race with this boat here, and we're going to use biodiesel on that. So we're going to try and be the greenest boat in the Bermuda race. But we've been working with Sailors for the Sea to try and get biodiesel as a criteria for their green regattas, get yacht clubs using it. Several have expressed interest in changing to B20. And the Storm Trysail Club has got a sustainability committee, and we're going to start looking at biodiesel for that. So there's a lot of local things going on that we could really make something happen. So where do we go from here? One big thing is that Rhode Island just recently passed a master sales agreement that is sort of the contract that any municipality, university, anybody can buy fuel under this master sales agreement, but you have to buy biodiesel. It has to have at least B5 or B20 or B99. So that's a great thing that the state just passed that as part of their sustainability efforts. We're working with the lobster fleets in Newport to get them to start trying to use biodiesel. And Rhode Island DEM said they'll allow us to bring trucks down on the dock and be able to provide access to the boats to be able to do that. So hopefully we'll get that going this summer. There's a lot of, worry about using biodiesel. Same old thing about what happened with the ethanol and stuff. So we have to work on that. And we're looking for a marina with the ability to dedicate a tank. So far we haven't been able to find one. We have one that possibly may be up in Providence, would be a good deal. And we're looking for a shipyard to use biodiesel for their onshore equipment and that sort of stuff. And we're continuing to work with the yachting community. So just in summary, biodiesel is an important fuel that could help address climate change, and we need to work toward making that happen in the marine environment. So the Rhode Island State Energy Plan proposed that all diesel in Rhode Island has to be a B20 blend by 2035. That includes marine diesel. So how are we going to get there? We've got to get working at it. So, and of course, Newport Biodiesel is local here, and we can provide a local solution for attaining those objectives. So I thank you for your time, and hopefully I will.
And I should have added that Bob received a BS in geology from the University of Rhode Island, so he's an alumnus, a master's in marine geology from Duke, and a PhD in marine geology from George Washington University. Thank you, Bob.